Bethany. I've got this set up so I think I can explain it to you pretty good. So this is your worksheet, and you'll notice that down each side you have numbers counting up in big boxes, and then next to it you have little boxes, and each one of these little boxes, when you add these two together, they equal the big box. Okay, so if you look at 2, it has one row that says 2 and 0, and the next row that's 1 and 1. Okay, so these numbers in the little boxes always add together across to equal this number. That will help you later. And all these numbers are telling you is this first column is telling you how many total things are bonded to your purple atom. The second column is telling you how many bonds are added, and the third column is telling you how many lone pairs are added. Okay? And then the part you fill in is the electron geometry, the molecule geometry, and then drawing the molecule. So let me show you how to do it. So if you click the link or copy the link into your browser, it takes you to this. Okay, I know it's a little bit fuzzy, hard to see, but this is what it is. You go to model, and it opens up automatically with 2 bonds. So these white ball and stick things are bonds. And over here, you have your lone pair. So this is how you add a lone pair, and these are your actual bonds. Okay? So on our worksheet, the second column, the first little one right here, those are the ball and sticks. That's how many balls and sticks you have to add, how many bonds. This next column is how many times you have to click the lone pairs. Okay? So the first one has 1 thing total, plus your purple atom. It has 1 bond, 0 lone pairs. So to build it, I'm going to remove all of this, we put 1 bond and no lone pairs. So that's my molecule. Okay, that's number 1. The worksheet tells me to add 1 bond, 0 lone pairs. So when I do that, if I check this box down here for molecular geometry and this box down here for linear or for electron geometry, it gives me the answers to the next 2 boxes. Okay? And then I also have a checkbox over here that says show bond angles. So I click it, and if there was a bond angle, it would tell me. There's not when you only have 2 things. So my geometries for both, in this case, is linear and linear. So I go back to my worksheet. Oops, up here. And then in this first box, I would type linear for the electron geometry, and then the molecular geometry was also linear. Okay? Now since you're doing this on a computer, you can't sketch it. We're going to sketch them when we get back. But this is where you would write the bond angle. Since there was no bond angle, just put a line, something else. Okay, I'm going to do another one. I'm going to actually skip down to number 3 because number 3 is where they get a little tricky. So I'm going to go to my thing and remove everything. Keep clicking the wrong way. And if you see, number 3 has 3 sections. The first one says 3 bonds, 0 lone pairs. The next one says 2 bonds, 1 lone pair. And last is 1 bond, 2 lone pairs. So we're going to build these. The first one is 3 bonds, 0 lone pairs. So I go up here and I add 3 bonds. Easy enough. Now it tells me, let me erase my old one. It tells me my molecular shape, my electron shape, and my bond angle. So my electron geometry, which is first, is trigonal planar. So I would write that in the electron box. The molecular geometry, which is the second box, is also trigonal planar. And then my bond angle is 120 degrees. Okay, so every answer just comes from where you click on this thing. All right, and then I'm going to remove it again, go back to my sheet, and I'm going to build this one. It's still in the row 3 because there's still 3 total things bonded. But in this case, 2 of them are bonds and 1 of them is a lone pair. So I have to put 2 bonds because there's down here, 2 bonds, and then 1 lone pair. So I click this once, gives me a lone pair. Okay, and still my answers are all right here. My electron geometry, still trigonal planar, because your electron geometry counts everything. But my molecular geometry is now bent because it only counts the ball and stick, only the molecules. So now this is bent, my molecule geometry, but my electron geometry is trigonal planar. And my bond angle is still 120. I hope that helps understand what to click and what not. Try your best. If you're still a little confused, just do what you can. Come back on Monday and we can work on it together. But I think once you do a couple, you'll be like, oh, I got this. And one thing to remember is that these 2 numbers always add up to this. So as you go down, you hit the row 4. Notice I left some blank. If you have 2 over here, 2 plus this number has to equal 4. So this is going to be 2. 1 plus whatever goes here has to equal 4. So this is going to be 3. 5, I only put a few in because as these count down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, this side will have to count up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because they have to add to equal 5. So as long as you make them add to equal 5, you're good. These questions are your like sum it all up questions. Use the data you get here to answer these. It will help you. Okay, look for trends. There are trends. If you have any more questions, hit me up.